Welcome, Vietek. We're very excited to hear what you have to say about the LinkedIn, how to update a LinkedIn profile from every professional to every student following this today. This is going to be an incredible, valuable session. Thank you so much, Vietek.
Yeah, thank you very much. And actually, with all these little technical difficulties, I'm really looking forward to see all the people back in the stage and back in in the audience, in the real life events, because it's so much missing, right? Like I think we all missing that very much. So anyway, as you can see, I'm sitting at home right now and talking to you, and we'll be talking to you about LinkedIn. So let me share my screen first, so then we can start with the presentation about LinkedIn. And as you mentioned, we're going to talk about why is LinkedIn important and how we can use LinkedIn in our business. I hope you can see my presentation. Is everything okay, Madre?
I can see your presentation. I'm going to just get a notebook to make loads of notes, and everybody enjoy session.
Thank you very much. So today we're going to talk about LinkedIn and how can we use LinkedIn in our business. As Madre already said, my name is Vietek Ladislaav. I'll be happy and glad and privileged to actually welcome you to my LinkedIn account. So whenever you are on LinkedIn, please just come and join me, or you can send a connection request. Say that you met me here on this this fantastic conference, and we can get in touch with one another. Actually, at the beginning, I would like to ask you a few questions. How many of you actually have a LinkedIn account? Can you just type yes to the chat bar? I don't know how many people are out there, but just make sure that that you're typing. How many of you, and how often do you actually go and check that LinkedIn account? Is it once in a day, once in a week, once in a month, or never? Maybe you can put that in a chat bar as well, and we can have a look at the. Of course, if you have any questions, please just keep them or put them in a chat bar, and we will go back to them once the session is done, because perhaps during the session some of the questions will be answered anyway. So without further ado, let's talk about why is LinkedIn important. First and foremost, I would like to give you just kind of like a brief overview of a bit of the statistics. Not too many, not too much. 756 million people in 200 countries are actually part of LinkedIn. Fantastic, right? Like I really like when you look at the map. There's a UAE, 4+ million registered users in UAE. That's more than 40% of our population here. I think it's really fantastic. So that means that a lot of people are actually from UAE are actually on the LinkedIn, and we can use it for our business, right? Obviously, we're doing some research and we're trying to figure out, what people do on LinkedIn, and we figured out that actually the people are spending more and more time on the platform. The platform is becoming more and more important from the business perspective, and of course from even from the recruiter's perspective, right? People often stay on. They go to the LinkedIn for certain information, and they themselves do not post that much, even though now it's becoming more and more prevalent that people are posting at least once in a week, which still, as you can see, it's not really much, but at least the number is getting increasing. And of course, in terms of a LinkedIn and a business, LinkedIn is the best social media network for lead generation. So that's quite obvious, because whenever we go to LinkedIn, and I think you will agree that we always put on the hat of the business owner, of the business people. So today we're going to talk about 5 very important steps, 5 key things, how to become LinkedIn smart, or as I say, or how to use LinkedIn in a proper way. So we're going to talk about profile, how to craft the proper profile. We're going to talk about engagement, of course, how to connect with people on the LinkedIn. We're going to touch upon a little bit about what, how, and why to post on LinkedIn. And of course, we will be talking a little bit about conversion and how to wrap up all these things into a meaningful business results. So let's start with the first thing, and that is the first impression on LinkedIn. That's LinkedIn profile. So what are the main things which, when you land on a profile, which kind of like attract your attention? Obviously, it's a profile headshot, right? And I think the ladies before the session before, they were talking about how important it is to have a professional photo on the CV. So imagine that LinkedIn is actually kind of your online CV, right? So you need to really have a professional photo. As I can see, that profiles with the professional photos had received much more attention from the audience. So it's really important to take really that into account. So if you have any photos from your wedding, from your parties, from all different kind of activities, sports activities and all that stuff, it's fantastic. Keep it for your other social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, that's fine. But please, 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 whenever you upload the photos on LinkedIn, your profile photo on LinkedIn, really make it professional. What I mean by professional, these are kind of like a professional headshots, which has many things in common, and I will touch upon that. So as you can see here, for example, my dear friend Yvonne Spiller, she has really fantastic, professionally done photo, and it has passport format. So it's in passport format. It's actually a little bit lower, kind of like a almost chest shot. She's in appropriate attire, which is important as well. She has a nice white background. I really like that she stands out from the background very clearly. She is looking into camera and she has a very big, bright smile. So that's fantastic, an incredible, typical photo, which I would like to see, me personally, I would like to see on a LinkedIn profile. So if you are not sure if your profile photo is good or not, you can always go to snapper.com, which is actually artificial intelligence engine analyzing your LinkedIn profile photo. It's free. It's actually quite a bit of fun as well. So you can always go there and check that out. So snapper.com, very, very good. Another one is photofeeler.com if you want to use some other website as well. So we were talking about first impression on LinkedIn. We were talking about profile photo. And the second thing which kind of like attracts our attention is LinkedIn headline. What I mean by LinkedIn headline, that's the one of the most visible parts of your LinkedIn profile. And in actually, it's a major factor in LinkedIn's search algorithm. It's actually the line directly below your name. Yeah. So what do we put in that LinkedIn headline? I really believe that we should really attract our clients, our customers, or the people we want to engage with some really interesting and attractive headline. So me, myself, I really like to address my so-called target audience, right? So I help SMEs to succeed on LinkedIn. Actually, this is my old headline. Now I have a very, very different headline, but that doesn't matter really that much. But I really like to talk directly to my target audience. I have few examples of how the headline could look like. And we have several types of headlines. So of course, there might be some expert headline where the expertise is the major driving force behind somebody's attention. There's a mission headline, for example, for people who are working in some charity organizations. There are some entertaining headlines, which there's a lot of those on LinkedIn as well. I wouldn't recommend them to you. And then there's a customer-facing headline, and I like that because the customer-facing headline, it really goes straight to the point and is talking directly to your clients. So it usually has that kind of template, which is helping or enabling or empowering, if you fill the blanks, target audience to do what? Again, fill the blanks. So you can use this type of, and then of course you can carry on with whatever your designation is. If it's a founder, student, whatever is that is, you can always carry on with this. But I would always start with this because it's directly relevant to your target audience. So I have few examples here. So for example, empowering corporate professionals to wake up happy on Mondays, career happiness coach. So you see there's a coach here, and then directly talking to the clients, to his or her clients right from the beginning. This one is very, very interesting. I helped 7 SaaS businesses to reach $10 million revenue. Who wants to be number 8? If you are somebody who is searching for some investment or perhaps some kind of help with your SaaS business, probably you would be the one who is saying, oh, I really need to talk to this person, right? So you see there's a bit of a creativity here introduced into this headline. So the headline really should not use any words like these cliche words like proactive and dedicated and all that. And nobody's interested in that, really. Do not use any industry jargon, of course, and not any three-letter abbreviations. I received, a few months ago, I received a connection request from somebody, and this was his headline, IoT, ICT, ELV. I have absolutely no clue what this person is doing. Probably IoT is Internet of Things. I would probably think about that. But then the rest of it, I really cannot decrypt. So, and if I'm confused, probably I'm not really that much interested in this person. So please do not use these unless it is really something which drives traffic to your name. So we're talking about first impression on LinkedIn. We were talking about profile photo. We were talking about a LinkedIn headline. And now let's talk about LinkedIn banner. Banner is that big, huge space behind your photo or above your photo. And so many people just don't use it at all. Please, please, please use it for your brand. It's really important. Yeah. So imagine this is like a big, huge billboard on Sheikh Zayed Road you have to your disposal, and you're just not using it. Why not? Why wouldn't you use it? You would use it for your company, right? Or for your business, or for yourself. Use it for your brand, or use it for yourself. You are the brand as well. Yeah. Do not leave the banner empty. This is how it looks like. It's just not really. First of all, it's not visually pleasing, and also it just doesn't doesn't bring you any benefit. So make sure that your banner looks like something like this. I mean, I have few examples here which I wanted to show you. If you don't know how to create the banner like this, just go to canva.com, go to, there are actually LinkedIn banner templates. So you can just tweak it a little bit, and you can create really beautiful banner for yourself within, a few minutes. It's no sweat whatsoever. And it's Canva, it's free. So it's really fantastic to use that. So we're following the order, and we're going to LinkedIn About. About, many times people think it's my CV. Actually, it's not. Summary, the About section, is not your CV, it's your story. And the story is slightly different from CV. Here you need to tell why you do what you do, what drives you, what is, why are you waking up happy on Monday, going to your job or to your school or whatever that is. So make sure that you always write the story in the first person. Yeah, as you can see here, again, a dear friend of my, Flo, his About section is fantastic. His Afro-German background, my Afro-German background gave me from an early age an advantage when it came to communication. You see, he's talking about himself a little bit in terms of what he does and how that shaped up his business or his current state of actions. So it's really, really important. So be customer-centric in this, in your story. Tell them what and why you do what you do. Make sure that you break that huge pile of text into some paragraphs. Make it a bit more spacious, so people, it's a digestible, it's easier to read. You can use some keywords which are relevant to your business, to your industry, because actually LinkedIn search algorithm is looking through the About section as well. You can use some icons, emoticons, smileys. It's fine, it's okay. And definitely add call to action. By call to action, I mean you can always add your telephone number, your website, your email. I know those links are not clickable, but still, just makes it easier for your clients, for your potential clients, to reach out to you. Yeah. So this is About section. So from the first section, I would like you to just take some few key points. Upload your professional headshot. That's really important. Revise your headline. Be a little bit more creative and be customer-centric. Make sure that you design your LinkedIn banner and look at your About summary and just write it as your story. So now we go to the second part. And second part is LinkedIn engagement. How to engage on LinkedIn. And I'm talking about engagement before we start connecting with people. And you will understand in a minute why is it so important to engage first before we start connecting with people. So there is certain strategy, and of course you should have always some kind of strategy behind why you do what you do. Why should I be on LinkedIn? There should be some clear strategy. So how to engage with your target audience? Number one, of course, always you need to identify who is my target audience. So identify that target audience, that group of people. Number two, so you can search for them, obviously, because LinkedIn has a fantastic search features. You can search for very, very specific people. Then, number two, what you're going to do, you visit their profile. Why is it so important? It's important because you making yourself visible to them. So imagine I want to, for example, I want to reach out to CEO of Coca-Cola, for example. Yeah. So I will search for that particular person, and then I'll visit his or her profile. Okay? That makes him actually LinkedIn prompt him, send him a note that I actually visited his or her profile. So I'm making myself a little bit visible. Yeah. What I will do next, I will engage with the post and leave some meaningful comments on the post of that particular person. Again, why is it important? Because you're making yourself not just visible, but you're commenting on somebody else's post. Here I would like to say, if you have something critical to say, perhaps you shouldn't be critical there, but you can always wrap up your opinion in some other way. But the thing is, you start engaging with the content which somebody else's, your ideal client, put out there, and you making yourself even more visible. Imagine yourself in the shoes of that person. Imagine that I am the CEO of Coca-Cola, for example, and then I'm putting out some articles or some posts, and somebody is constantly sending comments, very relevant, very meaningful comments. How visible suddenly that person is to me? Very visible, right? So I notice that kind of person. And many people, they skip this part and they directly try to connect with people, and then they get rejected and they feel like, oh, this, LinkedIn doesn't work for me. Of course, it doesn't work because you're not building any relationship. You are just trying to get married straight away on a first date, and that doesn't work. So engage with the post, leave some meaningful comments, and do this for a certain amount of time. I'm not going to tell you should do it for like 1 week or 3 weeks. Just do it until you see that there is some kind of relationship built between you and that person. Of course, you can actually follow the person, which is slightly different from connecting, because connecting, he needs to approve or she needs to approve. The following, you can just follow anybody you like. So you can just click and follow this person. So this is very, very important 4-step formula for engagement. Do not try to sell. And by selling, I really mean, if you're a student and you're trying to, give your CV out there. Yeah. I know that it's kind of like tempting to just send the CVs to 150 different email addresses. But what about trying to be a little bit more focused on the job, on a company you really want to get into? Perhaps you might be just shortlisting few people, maybe 10, 15 people, and just really try to build relationship with them. In a business, it's the same. If you try to build a business, you try to build a relationship, right? You don't want to just send your catalog or your leaflets out there, because how do you feel on the other side, on the receiving end? How many times we're receiving some unwanted leaflets and unwanted catalogs which we just throw away, right? Because we just don't like to be sold to. So please do not try to sell immediately. So that's why it's very, very important that you start with engagement before connecting, because the connection then will be much easier, and we will show it to you a little bit later. Again, key points from this section 2: identify 5 people you want to engage, your key clients. Visit their profile, gather the intelligence about them, engage with their posts and articles, leave some meaningful comments, and repeat this at least for 1 week. And you will see that the connection, which we are going to talk about in the next section, is very, very easy. So LinkedIn Connect, how to connect with my ideal clients on LinkedIn. So there is, of course, a strategy behind this. And before we start doing some extra activities, let's just pause for a while and think about how many clients do we have, or how many people do we know, and we are not connected on LinkedIn. So why not connect with them? So connect with people you already know. Connect with people you had already some relationship prior to this. It's easy. It's a low hanging fruit, as we say in the marketing, right? So go back through your contact list, go back through your emails, and then see who you had a relationship with, a business relationship with, and try to connect with those people. I think it's really very, very important that we keep in that kind of relationship going. Yeah, invest in that. And many times, what happened, after I've given this session for many times, and I do have the feedback from some of our clients. They're saying, this thing which you told us that we should go back and then we should connect with the people, with our previous clients. Actually, they told us we need your services again. Oh, I meant to call you. I meant to get in touch with you, but I didn't know. I forgot your email, or I forgot your phone number. It was really good for you to reach out to me because I need your services again. How cool is that? There's a low-hanging fruit right there. So please do that. Of course, connect with people you want to know. We said in that engagement section that we should identify our key audience, key target clients, and start working towards them. Yeah. So we don't need to have that wide range of 18 to 65 men and women in the whole world, that kind of target audience. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about really niche, very, very narrow, specific target audience, because the more narrow you are, more targeted you will be, and more success you will have with your campaigns. So connect with people you want to know. And whenever you're connecting with those people, make sure that you always add a personalized note. So do not just send a connection request without anything. You can always add the note on LinkedIn and add the note. And the note should be a little bit personalized in the sense of, last week I've seen your post that you were talking about that, this and that. That really made, it was really very interesting. I like to, connect with you and discuss, I don't know, some your way of doing things or things like that. It should be more about them, not about you. Yeah. But always add a personalized note. Again, from this perspective, identify your specific target audience. We mentioned that. Send a connection request to at least 5 people a day, and always add a personalized note to your LinkedIn connection request. Now let's discuss the number 4, and that's LinkedIn post. How to, what and how to post on the LinkedIn. Why to post on the LinkedIn? I think it's sometimes it feels like it's a simple question, but I would really use this with something which called VCP, which why to post on the LinkedIn? Because we want to be more visible, right? If we are more visible, would you agree that if we are more visible, then people kind of like, and we're sharing some valuable information, people come to trust us a little bit more. So visibility creates certain credibility. And more credible we are, more trustworthy we are to our clients or to our audience, the more chances that they will buy from us. Is that, I hope you agree with me on this correlation, that visibility creates credibility, and that in turn creates profitability. So that's the VCP where I was talking about. So obviously, why to post on LinkedIn? Because we want to create more visibility. We want to educate, entertain, and engage with our clients. It's a 3E, which I'm always using: entertain, engage, and educate with your clients. It's really important. What to post on LinkedIn? We will go through different type of posts, what we can post, and when to post. That's a really important questions which we're gonna answer as well. So if we're talking about why to post on LinkedIn, I said about the VCP, visibility. How you want to create that that visibility, and why is it important? Of course, the objective of creating some kind of visibility on LinkedIn is starting conversation. And many times I feel really sorry for some of my dear friends, which I keep telling them for a number of years. They are putting posts out there and they keep complaining. Well, nobody is really engaging with my posts. And I say, well, if I look at your post, they're not, there's nothing to engage with. You're just putting out there your PR message or just a statement. Start conversation. Think about how to start a conversation with your clients. It might be question. It might be some bit of a clickbaity title. Maybe it is some bit of a controversial kind of thing. I don't mean controversial in a negative sense, but I don't like LinkedIn or something like this, or I fed up with this, something like this, just to make sure that you're starting some kind of conversation with your audience. Of course, it's important to share value because many people going to LinkedIn to receive some information and being entertained while being educated. So share value, certain tips, what your expertise, and obviously the objective is to build trust with your audience and build your expertise. So the more you're sharing these kind of like valuable tips, valuable information, the more your expertise level is growing up. So this is basically the three main objectives. We were talking about what to post, and the question was what to post on LinkedIn. And there are many different types of. I will go just very quickly through this. So of course you can post just simple text. You can try text with some photos, and again, Canva is perfect for this. So whenever you want to create something, you can always go to Canva and create post. Videos are very engaging in many ways because people are staying longer. They watch them. So LinkedIn likes videos because the audience is staying longer on your content, and that's why they're putting them a little bit like a more organic reach for videos. Polls are sometimes overused. Me personally, I don't really feel that they are overused, but they can also be a very interesting and important source of information from your audience towards you. So you can always ask certain questions. So for example, I ask you at the beginning, how many of you have a LinkedIn account? Well, probably that wouldn't be a good question for LinkedIn, but how many times you visit LinkedIn in a week? It's and I could create that kind of poll, and I can get some kind of information from you. So in order for us to know and to understand what our audience is like. Obviously, there are some articles, which is like a blog post on LinkedIn. I do not have personally very good experience with them. There are people who are doing perfectly well with the long form text. It's not really me, but that's another way. And I really like the presentations. Presentations are really good. Again, you can create them in Canva, and presentations are good for many different reasons. And one of them is when you create a nice and good presentation, people need to scroll. It's like a carousel, so people need to scroll through the presentation, so they stay on your content. And whenever people stop on your content, LinkedIn algorithm introduce something what they call dwell time. So LinkedIn algorithm suddenly feels, the people are stopping on this content. That means that this content must be important because they are reading it. They're clicking on it, they're reading it. Means they will give more exposure to this particular content. So that's why usually you see that engagement on the presentations, if it's a good presentation, they're much higher than any other post. If you're looking for some ideas about content, what to post about, you can always go to answerthepublic.com, fantastic website. You can go to Quora as well. Of course, you can check, and obviously you can just check Google as such. And the last question which we were asked is about when to post. And for me, many times when we work with clients on their LinkedIn strategy, they always ask us, so how many times do I need to post? I mean, is one time a week enough? It's a difficult question to answer, but I feel really I want to give you some answers. So I feel that like the minimum is 3 times a week. Why? First of all, because you're becoming more visible to your clients. The common misconception is that whenever I post, everybody from my audience will see my post. This is actually not true. So again, not everybody in your connections will see your post. Only about 30%, 1/3 of your audience will probably see your post. So imagine when you post, only 30% of your audience is seeing that post. That means that you can actually repeat that content about 3 times, right? Of course, with some period of time. That's one thing. But second thing is that, people think that, when I'm posting, everybody will see my post. No, that's not true. 3 times a week is also a good number, because you need to test what works, what doesn't work, what time works. If you put out post only once in a week, I think that you don't have enough data to really analyze what works and what doesn't work. And this is always very, very important for any kind of social media, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You need to see what works with your audience. And if you don't have enough data, you just basically you have some certain assumptions which might not be correct. And yeah, I mean, it says that basically you should post during the working hours. Again, I see some posts which are doing extremely well, and they are the post have been out over the weekend and stuff like this. So again, you need to test that. The more data you have, the better you will be in terms of the visibility and actually the strategic approach to the posting. So that was about posting, and then now about conversion. Of course, if we are business owners, we want to spend the time doing this on the LinkedIn and have some tangible results, right? Like, we want to see that there are some leads coming into our business, not just we're posting and commenting and doing this and that, and actually brings nothing to our business. After a while, we'll say, well, okay, it doesn't work for me. So we need to be very clear that we are searching for our target audience. So that's why I said that it's very important to be very, very specific. Then we really need to engage and connect with the right people. Yeah, when that's happening in your connection list, that connection list is filled with the potential clients, and it's fantastic. And then when you start communicating with them, with those target audience, with those potential clients, you can move them outside to the email. LinkedIn is actually not that great for communication between clients, between me and like a business owner and clients. So I always guide our clients to go and to take them out to the email, which is much easier. So obviously you can do all this on your own and spend the time and all that, or you can actually outsource it to some other people. We do that as well. We just helping our clients to understand what they need to do and how on LinkedIn. So I thank you very much for your time. I hope it was valuable. You understood at least, and you learned a little bit about LinkedIn. And I hope to see you on LinkedIn. If you have any questions, please feel free.